Thing I come to the floor frequently to speak about, and something I waited throughout last year to see if the Democrats' approach to prescription drugs was going to become law, and that doesn't look to me like that route is going to be successful. So then I continually bringing up another piece of legislation that I'm working with Senator Wyden on, and it's a bill that says very clearly that this senator, and I think I speak for many, many senators, that we want lower prescription drugs now. I said that in the Finance Committee hearing 2 weeks ago, and I say it again. I want lower prescription drugs now. And so what are we waiting for? We have a bipartisan prescription drug package called Grassley that will save seniors $72 billion and the taxpayers $95 billion. Senator Wyden said during the Finance Committee's most recent drug pricing hearing, quote, "There is no question that the committee came forward," I'm going to start this quote over again. "There is no question that the committee came together in the last Congress and came up with a number of constructive bipartisan reforms, period, full stop," end of quote. Why aren't we then advancing this bipartisan bill? What is the majority waiting for? One of my colleagues on the other side tweeted this, quote, "POTUS has the authority to lower drug prices all on his own, and he should use it," end of quote. The Congressional Progressive Caucus is calling for this same thing as well. And then in the Washington Post, I read this headline, quote, "Advocates seek other pathways to lower drug prices." Far-left groups are pushing President Biden to bypass Congress and assert executive authority. So, is that some sort of statement that we're giving up on the legislative path? Why would we in Congress not move ahead? It's not like all options for legislation have been exhausted. The majority has spent 15 months attempting to pass their partisan prescription drug bill. It's gone nowhere. It doesn't have 60 votes. But that is not the only option. Has the Democratic majority given up on lowering prescription drug prices and counting on doing it only by executive order? Are they saying they have to do it in a way where only Democrats get credit or not do anything at all? Do Democrats really want to help seniors, or would they rather have a campaign issue? The longer we wait, patients and taxpayers are going to continue to pay those high prices, and for some families, that's a suffering position to be in. So let's work to advance a bipartisan prescription drug bill that can pass with 60-plus votes. We can do it today. It's already negotiated and ready to go. I'll work with anyone who wants to pass the bipartisan Grassley bill. Just give me a call. Now, I said something about last year that you had to sit around and wait for the Democrats to get something done on a totally partisan basis. And I don't say that they didn't work hard to get a bill passed that would have reduced prescription drug prices. But I just didn't sit around all of 2021. In the past 15 months, I want to give you some of the things that I've been doing to try to sell a bipartisan bill. I spoke with President Biden's White House staff, although I did have a short conversation with President Biden himself. I met with Speaker Pelosi. I met with Leader McCarthy. I met with, had a phone call, I should say, with HH Secretary Becerra. I met with the 10 Democrats who were wise to this issue that you can't pass a bipartisan prescription drug bill. These 10 House Democrats wrote to the Speaker way last summer wanting a bipartisan prescription drug pricing bill. I met with not all 10 of them, but I'll bet I met with at least 5 of them. And they were receptive to doing what I'm doing. Doesn't mean they were receptive to doing exactly the way I want to do it, but they were receptive to working in a bipartisan way. Then I met with the Republican and Democrats group that's called the Problem Solvers Caucus Healthcare Working Group. And then, you know, Peter Welch, a Democrat of Vermont, has been on top of this issue for years and years. I had breakfast with him. I met with Congressman Morris Rogers because she's the top Republican in the House dealing with this issue. I met with Senators Sinema and Carper and other rank-and-file members of Congress. While Democrats talk about lowering drug costs, they haven't made any progress. The only bipartisan progress that's been made on drug pricing has been under Republican leadership. If Republicans take control of the Senate next Congress, Republicans will be lowering prescription drug prices. But we shouldn't have to wait another 8, 9 months. And who knows who's going to control the next Congress in the first place. But we don't have to wait a whole year. Let's lower prescription drug prices today. I yield the floor.